Hey everybody, I'm Matt Weaver, Executive Chef at the Campbell Club here in downtown Owensboro. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen. Today we're going to do one of our dinner menu items, our smoked pork chop. This has been selling really well down here. It's got a little bit of an elderberry glaze with grilled grits and a touch of sauteed kale on top of that. All right. This is our elderberry glaze here. We start off by simmering some ginger and garlic and onions with chili flake and rosemary. We actually get an elderberry jam from a company here in Owensboro called Kentucky Honey Farms. This is delicious. It pairs perfectly with the smokiness of the pork chop. I've got our pork chop over here. I'm going to go ahead and season that with a little bit of pepper. We actually brine this in-house for 24 hours and then we slow smoke it for about another 3 hours or so over some hickory wood. The smoke just comes right through this pork. It's a perfect pairing, salty, smoky, a little bit of oil just to help keep it from sticking. Throw that down there on the grill. Cook that just right about medium well or so. We don't want to go too far. Pork likes to dry out. Brining it helps keep it nice and juicy, but by cooking it, not cooking it all the way through, not cooking it to well done, that is, it's going to stay perfectly tender. These are our grits. Get our grits from Weisenberg Mills. And what we do is we cook them in a pan, cook them ahead of time and put them into a pan, and they'll firm up, and we'll just throw them down here on the flat top. It's got a little bit of white cheddar cheese, onions, and garlic, and chili flake. It's a perfect little sponge to soak up all the flavor from this dish. We'll put this on the bottom of the plate. And what we have over here, we got garlic and a little bit of clarified butter. Just as you can see, it's got a little bit of golden color on that. We add some chicken stock to it. You don't want to do this too hot because the kale doesn't need a whole lot of high heat. Chicken stock, garlic, a little bit of butter, and some fresh kale right in the pan. This goes pretty quick. You don't need a whole lot of time. Salt, pepper. I like to give it a little bit of oregano. And a little splash of lemon juice in there too. That acid goes really well with the kale. See our glaze just bubbling away a little bit down here. Okay. Our pork. We get our pork loins from Wadlington and Sons here in Owensboro. They're on Beach Road. It's hormone-free, antibiotic-free, local pork. It's just great to know where your meat comes from. You know who's growing it, who's cutting it, and on top of that, who's cooking it, which is me. So come down and let me do that for you. All right. Like I said, this is a pretty quick dish. Doesn't take too long. Come on back over here to our kale. You can see already as it cooks, the bright green just turns vibrant. It's really fast. You don't want to cook kale for too long, because you cook it too long, the flavor goes from nice and delicate to a little pungent, a little astringent. So all I'm doing is wilting it. It's hot, it's wilted, it's not mush, and that's it. It's done. All right. Go ahead and take our grilled grits over here, put them right on the bottom of the plate. Rotate this pork one more time. Okay. Kale. Soaked up all that garlic, the oregano. The lemon's going to cut right through that. The smell of garlic is just exploding out of this pan. And that's perfect. The juices from the kale are going to drip down on top of the grits. Comes our pork right on top. For our glaze, I'm going to finish it with just a little bit of unsalted butter. It's going to give it a little bit of extra viscosity. It's going to cut through all the sugar and the acid, make it nice and smooth, nice and velvety. See, it gives that beautiful sheen on there. Okay. Right on top of the pork. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's smoky, it's salty. It's everything you want in a pork chop. On top of that, it's local, it's delicious, it's quick and easy. Alright, there you go. It's our smoked pork chop with elderberry glaze. One thing we never talk about is our great wine pairings that we do with a lot of our dinner menu entrees. For instance, here we have the accordion Malbec. It's an Argentinian Malbec and it pairs perfectly with the smoked pork chop. It has a lot of dark red berries, some plum, dark cherry flavor to it, a little bit of spice, and a hint of chocolate in there as well. And it goes perfectly with the smoked pork chop because we've got the elderberry glaze, which is nice and sweet, ruby red, and then you've got the ginger and the rosemary and the smoke of the pork chop. Just a great compliment. One of my favorite things about cooking is pairing wine with it, because you start off with just a beautiful dish and then you have a beautiful glass of wine. You put the two together and it just is a great symphony of flavor, if I can be cliche, but that's just what it is. And we pair several different wines. We have a really nice complex wine menu, a lot of different options, several Californian and Italian and Argentinian wines, and we can pair pretty much any wine with any entree that we have. So come on down, try out our 2-month free membership. It's open to anyone, no reservation required. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen. I'm Matt Weaver with the Campbell Club.